Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kenyon. And on the way over, I have Alex Vasquez and Martin Dockery, two of my close friends. You've seen them on the show before. You know who they are. And we're going to have a super casual Saturday morning conversation. We're going to talk 2025 and beyond. I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, a wonderful new year, and enjoy the show. What's up, good people? Welcome to the Evolution Ave podcast. My name is Kenyon. I am your host. And as you can see, I got a lot of power to my right and to my left. Now, today is December 28th. You know what that means. We're heading into 2025. 2025, which I believe is going to be your best year ever. But you know what's going to make it your best year ever? By listening to this podcast and taking in some of this content, this information that these two kings are going to share with you today. I mean, it's going to be serious. So what we're calling this episode, this is the activation episode, because I believe and we believe that 2025 is going to be the year that you activate. This is all about, so many people get stuck in that paralysis analysis, and you're so worried about the fear of unknown, and ultimately you just never take your life to the highest of its potential because you never truly activate yourself. So after this episode, which I believe is going to be the most impactful episode, most impactful podcast, YouTube, Instagram, clips, whatever you see that you're ever going to hear, see, and feel in your life. But we're going to give it to you, but you got to take it. And when you just can't take it, though, you got to take it and run with it. So we're here. I have two of the most dynamic human beings here that will share insights from different perspectives, right? On sharp. right. Look, they're going to give you everything on how they created their world around them and basically tell you how you can do it too, right? So right now, to my right, might be to your left, but to my right, I got my man Martin Dockery, MD. MD got a story for y'all. Martin, introduce yourself, bro.
How y'all doing, man? My name is Martin Dockery. I'm a real estate professional and investor. Also go by the title of wholesaler and author now. Author of the wholesale kit.
Oh, the wholesale kit?
Oh, yeah, so, you know, serial entrepreneur. But I just love the business of real estate. I love affecting change. I love being a part of the biggest purchase that people ever going to do in their life. So I love it all. You know, I love everything about it. And I love helping people. So why not?
Word is bond.
In a big way.
Word is bond. Word is bond. Me and Martin go back. I mean, you said you're about to celebrate number
48.
Number 48 in 48. What next week, right? So that means we go back about
probably 48, man.
That means we go back about 35 plus, almost 40 something years, because growing up in the city of Trenton, a lot of memories, a lot of escapades, if you will, different paths, but you know, paths came back and met a couple years ago while we was both speaking at an event, and here we are. Martin got to be one of the dudes that I know that there's nothing that he won't try to do. Nothing's going to stand in his way. He has no fear of boundaries, no fear of roadblocks. He going to go through them. We've had so many conversations where he was like, look, we ain't going to let money stop the train. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to let this hold us back. Let's do it. So when you're talking about somebody that's just coming out, and it's Martin, right? So, and then to my left, maybe to your right, I got my man, the famous, the infamous, Mr. Let's Do Better People, hailing from the city of Camden, New Jersey, the sister city of my city, Trenton, New Jersey, right?
Yes.
You know who it is. Y'all know him as Let's Do Better People. Some people know him as Al Camden Reynolds. Yes. Some people might just know him as Alex Vasquez, right? But this is my guy, my brother. Yo, hey, what's up, baby? What's going on?
Everything's great, man. Happy New Year's coming up. Me, I'm just a regular local kid that invests in the city that I grew up in, city of Camden, which I love, which I'm always there, which I'm trying to make better, and at the same time, I make money doing it. So it's the best of both worlds for me, man. And I'm just trying to make a difference, man. Make money while you, make income while we making an impact, man.
Yeah, man. Life is about impact, man, and that's something that all three of us share, and that's the reason why we're here right now, right? I mean, we love making this content and being on these episodes and talking to everybody and giving the way of the world to the people and hoping people can become better, become their highest self from this. But the real reason is just to make an impact, right? So, like I said, this is the activation episode. We're going to talk about how to activate, and this is the show for these two gentlemen to share with you. I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I'll chime in here and there. But I think that if you take this, like I said, your life is going to change in a way you've never seen it change before. But I think some of us get like, what do I call it? Self-improvement or self-help overload, where you just listen to it and you hear it, you read it, but you don't do nothing with it. But the secret that a lot of people don't tell you is you can hear it all you want, but you're not going to sit on the couch and read and listen to YouTube all day or listen to a podcast like this without action. And you have to activate yourself. So, fellas, welcome to the beginning of 2025.
Yes.
Let's let the people know that this is going to be the best year of your life, the absolute best year of your life. I promise, if you take the things that you're going to hear. And this conversation, by the way, is unscripted, right?
Yes.
You look around, there's no script, there's no words, there's no nothing. This is just us having a conversation, but this is the kind of conversation we have on any given day that we talk, that we're around each other breaking bread and doing what we do. So
and now they get to hear it.
And now you get to hear it, right?
Yeah,
you get exclusive access, right? But if you really care about it, make sure, and I'll remind you at the end too, make sure you share this episode, share our information, share this, because nothing's good if you just do it by yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody, let's get to the top. I want to see you there with me, and that's the way we all feel about it. Y'all do us a favor, right? We're going to give you this content and give you access to this conversation. What I want y'all to do in return is free. It's free, right? Free. We're not asking you for nothing. We don't want nothing from you. But all we need you to do, this is what your fee is. It's your ticket price. Let's make this episode the most watched episode on YouTube. Get the most views on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. Let's make this that episode. Can we do that? Can y'all agree to that? I bet y'all can. I know y'all can. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's start this off. Al.
Yes.
I got a question for you, brother.
Yes.
One, somebody like yourself did the corporate grind for a while, moved around in your city. You know what I mean? You came up just the way we all came up, kind of the same way, with the same environment, letting nothing stop us. But something had to activate you, dog. Like, something made you go from Al Vasquez, running around the city of Camden,
the local boy to the fucking man.
The man. So how did you activate?
Activate. I mean, that's a powerful word, because for us to know, like, I always knew I was going to be a little different, right? I always knew I was different from the pack of the crew, right? Because everybody was still doing the regular stuff, and I'm like, man, how about this? Like, I always ask questions, right? You know, everybody always do stuff because that's just the way everybody do it, and just like everybody was on the street hustling. Everybody just hustled just because it was the common thing, right? Nobody stopped to ask why, right? Like, oh, this stuff don't add up. Like, I was real analytical guy. But being activated, I was always activated in everything I did. It was just that I was activated for the wrong things.
Woo!
You know what I mean? Like, I was never lazy.
Right.
Like, I never did something half-assed. Like,
It
wasn't like, that wasn't my style. Anybody that benefit was the people I was working for, but it was like, I knew I could be successful in my own business just because the way I was giving myself to other businesses, you know what I mean, that wasn't mine. I knew if I put my name on it and it means more to me, that I knew I was going to take off. So, but activate, man, I think you was born with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to put yourself in the right field to continue to activate the right way. You know what I mean? Because if you clean floors, you could be the best. Doesn't mean you're going to make the most money.
Right.
But
you
could be the best.
Because you can start cleaning a lot of floors.
But then you got to change that mindset.
Right.
You being activated is you good. Right. You just got to start thinking differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can clean the floors for yourself, or you can clean the floor for another company. You know what I'm saying?
You can be doing the same amount of work.
Same work.
You just got to change your mindset.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about.
All right, Martin. So how about you, bro? Like, look, you got a story to tell, right? And I want you to give some people some of that story right now, because I think it's a great it's a great foundation to where you were, where you went, and where you are now, and what the future gonna look like. But you had a lot of reasons to stop and never to activate, right? Or maybe it was you activated for a lot of the wrong reasons, a lot of the wrong people before, but here you are now. What made you activate?
I ain't gonna lie, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was tired of going and bumping my head against the same wall. And then one day I just hit my head too hard and it woke me up. So, I just, God blessed me. God blessed me, man. He was walking with me the whole way. I ain't gonna lie. It just was having that you know, being sane, because I went through a lot. You know, I know people like to talk about their past. I really don't. It's painful.
Right.
But at the same time, I know people can resonate with it, and it's very inspiring. You know, everybody know my story about, you know, my history of being in and out of prison for 25 years. You know, saying my life. So and then one day, you know, you know, it ain't happening one day. You know, slowly over time, I started changing parts of my life. And, you know, God was like putting people in my life, angels, what you could say, and they were just directing me along the way. And then I just said, you know, enough is enough. And I started putting that same energy into something else, you know. So just like Al was always active, but, you know, I just had my, you know, energy in the wrong places. And I ain't know. I ain't have no choices where I came from. It wasn't like it was people that was around me that was doing real estate. It wasn't people that was business owners in my family. Everybody was just workers, and they just, you know, a lot of my family was like workers, you know, and then some people were street hustlers.
Yeah, so that's all we know.
Yeah, that's all we knew.
Right,
so only thing I knew is like either to get a job or go out in the streets and hustle, you know. So it ain't till I got exposed to different people.
And getting a job was corny around the way.
That was corny. Yeah, you wasn't supposed to do that.
Cornball.
Corny, like we was taught so backwards where we from.
And
like
going to school, you a cornball.
Yeah, like even about like I would talk about like women, education, everything. Like if you was the smart one in class, like you was like people tease you for that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, you was the nerd, or
you couldn't even want to be smart, even if you wanted to.
Yeah, you couldn't show that you was smart if you did. Like I was always book smart, but I was a knucklehead. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
you couldn't get to the class.
So I couldn't. Yeah, that wasn't. It ain't work. It ain't work with me. You know what I'm saying? But you know, eventually, you know what I took from school was. And growing up, like I used to be a big reader.
Right.
I remember my dad coming home from jail, and my dad put a book in my hand. I remember Iceberg Slim and Donald Gomes, and that opened me up to a lot of things. So when I did do my time away on vacation, well, I like to say I read a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that filled my mind with other stuff besides playing spades or doing pull-ups on the pull-up bar or watching basketball, whatever the case. So that took me away, and like a lot of people that I see, they really don't read a lot of things in substance when they was in. Like, so like if you don't fill your mind up with some good healthy food, and I used to read like every business book I can get my hands on. Anybody that know me, shout out to all the COs, and yeah, for real, like all the COs, everybody I was down with, they know that I was an avid reader. I used to read and study all the time. And I piled myself, like I fed my brain with so much stuff that I knew that was a transferable skill that I could take to the street with me. So I kind of like, so sometimes I don't even know how I know it, but I know that I read over so many books.
Yo, but that's dope you say that, right? Because I felt like when I start, and reading wasn't my thing at all, because I can barely read, right? But I started listening to audiobooks. And the information that I was listening to completely changed my mindset, my life, just because people are scared to change, and they feel like if they read something that's informative, you're going to have to change, right? Because the way of thinking, and people don't want to invest in themselves, right? I think that's huge in our people. Like people can buy stuff, designer or invest in their company, or I mean their job, but mentally
they won't invest in themselves
at all.
At
all. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get that a lot.
At all. Like you gotta think if you really wake up every day, you don't put no knowledge in your head, right? From the day you start till you go to sleep, what do? You just wasted a day of trying to get better. So
yeah. It's funny you say that. You said something, Martin, and Al, you commented on it too, that you know it wasn't cool to be smart. It wasn't cool to go get a job, or like, yo, I want to get a job. It was. I read this thing. I was listening to something on YouTube the other day. It was talking about how being bad is the way. You ever wonder why bad people have so much success, right? And it's not that when you listen to it, that's the title, but what it was getting to was this: like when you're bad or so-called bad, you're bad. You have the courage to do certain things, right? You got the courage to go out on the street and hustle and build a big enterprise. But if you notice, most people that are your biggest street guys are super smart. they're running corporations and they don't even know it,
100%.
right? It's just that the government ain't getting no piece of it, so you can't sit there and do it, right? So that's a big part of that. But what it talks about is it's not that there are these like bad people. They are, but the reason why bad people, like, so we growing up, most of the chicks wanted a bad dude. They wanted a street dude. They didn't want the smart dude. He was corny. Or if you were somebody that's like, yo, I got a job, that's corny. But if you want a street, get money, you got the car, you that dude. But they got those things because, yeah, was it always right? Got it. But it was the courage, right? They weren't afraid, right? So like in the real world today, you have to eliminate those good things per se that that you think are good, right? And what I mean is like, all right, the person who gets a raise at their job is the person that goes and asks for it, right? Yo, I deserve a raise. I need a raise. Y'all gonna give it to me? What's up, right? And that's who's gonna get it. The person who's scared to ask for it, they won't ever get it. They won't ever get it. Yeah. And you might see that dude where like, yo, he just came and asked for it. He bad, or man, he has a yielding courage to go out there and start his own business, or go into this endeavor, or bet on sports, whatever it is, right? Or to play a sport and take a risk. What I've realized is this: there's no real reward. I think everybody got to realize this. There is no reward without taking a big risk. If you want a big reward, you're going to have to take a big risk. There's nothing in this world I can think of that's easy and has a big payout.
I got I even got that tatted on my right rib. I got what was my quote? It say
There you go.
There you go. Fortune favors the brave.
Fortune favors the brave. It's a fact.
That's it. That is powerful, right? Because people look at people that's wealthy and they be like, man, it must be nice, or it must be easy, or it must be, and you like, you don't know how much he had to sacrifice. Yeah. Mind you, if they don't come from it, right? Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of people come from this bread that eventually you be like, man, they woke up, right? But then you see first time entrepreneurs, right, from the family that's starting to do it. Then they be like, man, when we are doing something good and winning, oh, it must be nice. But fortune favors the brave. The people that y'all was scared when we was out here taking risks,
right?
You know what I mean? When we was out here like risking it all on the hope that we didn't know what was going to turn out while you was playing it safe,
right?
Yeah, that's not so. Think about it. Like, people lost a lot of money. A lot of things happened because they went for something that didn't work. So when people do win, you gotta understand. It
was a big
fortune favor the brave. The people that's winning is because they fucking brave.
If there's no opportunity to lose big, there's no opportunity to win big.
100%.
Right? Yeah. That's just how it works. That's just how it is. And that's why I was saying, like, you know, you got to break out this mold of thinking like I feel like we've been taught a certain way, right? We brought this up. We've been taught a certain way because of how we came up. We're almost programmed from birth to be a certain way. Think about school, right? School and jail is a lot of similarities between the two, right? Now, I've never been to jail, but Martin, you have. Yeah. But it's a lot of similarities too, right? You got to get up at a certain time. You got to get on a bus to get there. It's a bell. It's a yard, a recess, whatever you want to call it. It's you being instructed to do what you do.
It's conformity life. Like
it's conforming. It's a system. It's very systematic. And like me, I'm helping my kids, and my kids are 12, 7, and 3. And I'm at an age where my two oldest got homework and stuff like that, right? And I've been looking like, I've been in the real world where I had to apply real world application to stuff now, right? And I'm like, man, you know, this shit you doing, this ain't, I be telling, you know, my wife get mad because I'm like, look, they ain't never gonna use this shit, right? I don't care what you do, unless they want to become engineers or whatever, which, you know, if that's their thing. But I'm like, they never gonna use this because school and the system is not teaching you how to become the best version of yourself. They teaching you how to become average, how to become very normal, right? It's all set up. Workers. Like, have you ever been in a class that they told you like, the premise is go out, do well, do okay, do really good, and get a job. Nobody's telling you go build something special.
No, listen, right? It's made for that. We go to school, send your kids to college and even high school to become employees. Yeah. Right? You don't go out there to become somebody's boss. Like, a lot of people that's entrepreneurs is dropouts.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. Or a lot of people that's doing it.
There's a reason for that.
I bet y'all didn't go to school for it.
Look, dropping out is so-called bad. Bro, he's bad. He dropped out of school.
I know it's a crazy thing with that because you you tell your kids to go to school, but then you like in the real world, like me, like all my stuff is trial and error.
Trial and error.
Like I you know, really,
the
like
best
that's
education.
That's why I just recently really started mentoring. A big thing why I want to start mentoring is because I never had a mentor, even in real estate. Like I had people that along the way that helped me. I did have people that suggested this, suggested that, but I self-educated. Like,
but think about what you just said, right? And as I'm talking, as I'm listening, we had a bunch of teachers that taught us nothing in school.
Yeah.
But now we get to pick our teachers, which that is great because now that I think about it, I had a bunch of teachers. I don't even know none of their names if on the sense of that you really taught me something educating that was going to change my life, right? Like, you could probably tell me something else, but education-wise, zero. But then if you, as a mentor now, somebody can actually, you can be a teacher that's going to give them the information they need, they want, and it's going to
not all that fluff and all of that stuff. They give you directly what you need.
We had a bunch of teachers. Now that I think about it, a bunch of teachers, yo. I don't think one of them got me to real estate.
I'm at now. I had a lot of teachers that it was just like you could tell they weren't passionate about teaching anymore, right? Where the teachers that I say had some influence on my life were people who, it wasn't just about social studies or math. It was about how can I shape this young man's life.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the only ones, right? That's the only ones. And then like going back to what I said earlier, like if you're watching this and you're listening to this, you know, the self-help world, the motivational world has become very popular. But a lot of people say, man, I did everything, but nothing's happening. And that's because it's bigger than just, I think school is a platform. I think picking up the books, picking up YouTube, looking at social media and following people that you want to be like or you can take something from, that's all great. But what I'll say is this, knowledge is not power, right? Because we're taught to think the reason why you want to go to school and blah, 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 and read so much, knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power. Right?
You can know all you
want.
Dummy.
The smartest people are not the most wealthiest people in the world, and not that wealth is the most important thing in the world. But I think everybody should find that out for themselves. By the way, you know what I mean. But the wealthiest people are not the smartest. The smartest are not the wealthiest. The smartest people work for the wealthiest.
100%. The people that's like it was the people that dropped out, right? The people that just said this school stuff don't make sense. But the people that they work for, right, or that work for them are the smart kids, right? That's able to read this book and take this test and pass it and be like, yo, everybody, they the smart kids, right? Me, when I was in school, I'd be like, man, ain't no way I'm be able to read this big book and take a questions because that's not how I learn, right? But you put me in the field with stuff that really makes sense, right? Like numbers, like, all right, I can buy this for 50. Right. I can put 50, that's 100. 100 is going to be worth 200. That's easy numbers to me. But they wasn't teaching me this in school. They was teaching me social studies. Man, listen, you can tell me A, C, B, C.
Right.
I don't know none of that. I know buy this property, fix it, bring this equity, and let's do it again. Dog.
I know those numbers.
So all them teachers that taught me, they ain't taught me nothing, dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? My best teacher was the school of hard knocks.
Yeah. I think, and I'll switch it back to Martin on this one. We talked about what we all talked about, like, you got to be willing to take risks. Al, like just like your tattoo, right? I tell people you got to replace fear with curiosity. You got to replace fear with excitement, because one thing that I notice is, and I'm asking you this, Martin, because I know you and I have had a couple conversations about this, where I'll say like, I'm like, not that I'm worried, but I know that if I bring you an idea, you never come to me with any trepidation. It's more excitement. What brought you to that mind state where, when it comes to making money or it comes to starting businesses or just taking on something, it's not about fear. It's more like the excitement of the positive is going to happen. Like, what brought that about?
I don't even know what brought that about, but I know when I recognize it, I'm very optimistic about everything. I always see the glass half full rather than half empty. And even when I'm doing real estate, like, I'm a problem solver, right? I'm a real estate investor, a wholesaler, and I got to solve problems every day, right? And you can't convey that energy out to nobody. And naturally, intuitively, I've always been a person that said, all right, we got this wall here, but how can we get around it, over it, through it?
And you saying that the biggest problems are the biggest checks.
The biggest checks.
So trust me, like that's a great thing.
The biggest problems had a simple solution. Sometimes I'll be doing stuff with like real estate, or I'm like, well, if we just do this and do that, they like, oh yeah. I'm like, how long you been doing this? They be like, and especially I get a lot of people be like, I've been doing it 20 or 30 years. And I'm like, well, I haven't been doing this, but I got some fresh ideas. And just that creative process, being always creative and always, like, even in my life, like, I never let my circumstances kind of dictate who I was or what I can be. Like, when I wasn't going in and out of prison, I still tried. Like, I tried to get a job at an insurance company, and I had a record, and I was like, yo, and they actually hired me, you know what I'm saying? And they was like, you know, I remember them saying that I gave answers that was unique, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm giving answer from my hustling point of view, my experiences, and I guess everybody else, I don't know what they gave us, but I guess they was kind of cookie cutter, you know? But so me, I just always try to look at something and see a way of, like, I don't like people like that. I can come to Al, be like, yo, Al got this business idea. And the first thing Al say is how we can't do it. And I'm like, now that throws me off. And that's why I say, like, even me, to change my life, I had to get away from a lot of people that thought like that.
Oh, 100%.
Because the 99 to 1 theory is true. Like 99% of this earth think like one way, and 1% of this earth think another way. So in 1% of this earth, that's why 1% yeah. And like he said, 70% of new millionaires are self-made millionaires. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come for money. They just took a chance. You know what I'm saying? Brave. Took a chance, threw it out there. And me, I believe, like, you know, like they say Hall of Famers, you don't got to hit every ball to be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Michael Jordan ain't hit every winning shot. LeBron James ain't hit every winning shot. So you just got to keep trying to keep at it.
They were taking shots, though.
You got to take your shot.
Michael Jordan said it. He said it. He was like, you know, he was talking to a bunch of kids, and he said, yo, you know, the reason why I take these shots, he was like, because what's the outcome, right? I don't think about the outcome. I'm going to take the shot. And he's like, and if I miss it, big deal. I'm going to take the shot again, and I'm going to keep taking the shot. He's like, and what's happening is I've taken a lot of winning shots. I've taken a lot of shots that didn't go in.
Nobody cares which ones you miss.
Yeah, but nobody cares about the misses.
They don't ever see that.
If you out here making it happen, dog.
But I think that's the problem, Al. Like that's something you just hit it on the nose. Nobody cares about the misses, but people think people care about the misses. Nobody cares about the misses. So I got a good question for you, Al. I think a lot of people live below their potential, right? They literally live below their potential. Now, you're somebody that I see that's been able to connect with people, but they would tap into your own potential, and it's very infectious to other people. How did you build that, and what would you tell somebody that's, yo, Al, I'm living below my potential, and I know it. I got to get out of this. I got to activate and take off. How do I do it? What's that mindset look like?
It's bad when you talk to me about it, because I'm too tough loved a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I don't like excuses. I'm not the guy that you come to when you want to be like, oh, Al, I mean, I've been struggling, but I want to get better, and throw me with all these excuses. I'm not the guy unless you have a tough skin, because all this stuff is possible. And I know it's cliche, everybody, it is, but I want to be around people that's willing to fail, man. And like, to the point of that, people know they got potential, but they scared to fail, right? They scared to take that winning shot. Give me the rock.
It ain't a failure. It's always a lesson. It ain't a failure. It's always a lesson.
But the fear of it, right? Like if we fourth quarter, like, and we down by, let me get the ball, because I'm a shooter, even though I'm scared, even though it is what it is.
You were scared.
But if I don't take the shot, the game we lost already.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So the goal is to get out your comfort zone. But people that got a lot of potential, man, I do see it, man. And you hope that you can get it out. Because you ever go to somebody's job and they work so good at their job, and you like,
man, you could do something else.
Man, you are so good. Yeah, your potential, but your job is eating all that up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your job is, they are so happy because your potential is always going to just be that.
Right.
But you're going to make the other job a whole lot of money. But if they was able to see their own potential and be like, man, if I can do the same thing I'm doing for that, for me, man.
But, you know, speaking on another note on that, you know, business and entrepreneurship ain't for everybody.
It's not for
everybody. You know, some people just like the thing of like collecting the check, doing this, knowing they bills paid every month, you know, not really no excitement in life. Yeah. And like, even though, you know, we around people that's high energy, that want to win, succeed. Well, at least that's what we try to be around, right? And we around the people, we think everybody, like, I can say something about business. Like, I remember even like me being away all this time, and I come and I'm like, yo, you know what business credit is? And they was like, nah. And I'm like, you don't know what business credit? How long you been doing business? They be like 20 years. And I'm like, you don't know this? And I just assumed that everybody knew this information. Even when I started wholesaling, I'm like, why do every agent do this? I'm like, why don't they do creative finance? And I just noticed that some people not open to like learning new things. They close themselves off.
Yeah, it's like you said, everybody not meant to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is hard, right?
Extremely
and you know, backstepping, you know, taking a few steps back. One, I've learned that if you're not scared, then it must not be that big of a deal, right? So you got to do it scared, do it before you're ready, do it before everything's perfect. But back to that, I do think that everybody in this world has a gift to give to the world, and the world wants to receive a gift. I think we're born with this gift. We were created with a gift. Now, that gift might not be entrepreneurship. That gift might not be creating the next big social media platform. That gift could be being the best teacher in the world and impacting people's lives in a certain way. That gift could be being the best police officer in the world. That gift could be being the best person who cleans floors. And then guess what? Now you got contracts all over the country cleaning floors to NFL stadiums or office buildings for corporations. So I think we all have a gift. A lot of times we're just not trying to get to the gift or explore the gift because of fear and because of, oh, it ain't the right time. I don't have enough money. I got too many responsibilities. You got to get over that because you only become what you think. And if you think you're here, you'll never be here.
Look, the problem with everybody, they think they got all the time in the world.
And we don't have it.
You know what I'm saying?
All of us done lost people. All of us done lost people.
Like, that's the thing. That's the scary part. Like, everything you were just saying, like, think about it. They just scared because if you're going to do something, just go all the way in all the time.
Right.
We not here. Like you said, if you want to clean floors, just be the best at it. And hopefully it can be whatever you do. I mean, us being that entrepreneurship is like, I'm going to go hard in this. But the biggest problem that people have is they feel like they're going to live forever.
Well, that's the
wow.
biggest. That's one of the biggest differences between.
Risk now. Let's take risks now.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest differences between rich people and poor people, right? Robert Kiyosaki say it. Myron Golden say it. Poor people, everything to them is money. Money is the most important thing in the world to poor people.
Oh, yeah.
Rich people, what's the most important to rich people?
Time.
To rich people, time is their greatest resource. Poor people, money they think is their greatest resource.
Great,
poor people love money, right? Because they love what they don't have. Rich people love time.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I love. Look, I got a clock here on my arm, and I got money behind it, right? Because people just say time is money. I'm like, that's false.
It's false.
Time is value way more than money, right? I even got whatever.
You could be the richest person in the world. Can't buy a minute.
Hourglass.
I got a time, right? Because it doesn't even matter with time. People
don't matter
because it's like this. One of the dopest things I heard, right? If money is everything, right? If I be like, yo, I give you $10 million, will you take it? Right? But if I tell you, yo, you're going to have to die tomorrow for it.
Yeah.
So now we already know
right.
Money is not everything.
Money is not everything.
So if he just tell you, yo, all right, for that $10 million, you're just going to have to lose one of your family members.
Not worth
you now. So money can't be the second top thing, right? Because family is, right?
Yeah.
So when people got to understand what's priorities, when you chasing, like you said, that's powerful, man. Poor people always think money is the number one thing, right? For wealthy people, they look at time, right?
Right.
And family, right?
Yeah, time, family, health.
And then health, because then I tell you, let me give you 10 mil.
Yeah,
but you're going to have to have cancer.
Yeah, you got cancer.
You got whatever it is.
Yeah, that's why, like, my top things are, family, time, health, and relationships. I put them all over money, right? Because, like me, relationships is very important, like especially in business. And when we doing this business, even we think this is like a vast world, but it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you met, we gonna meet because we in the same industry. And the industry, even though you think it's big, is not that big. Like, and so relationships important to keep relationships,
especially with the right people.
Right people.
Yeah, you can know a billion people.
Yeah. I'm just saying, people, the right.
But
people,
like how we connect now,
how we connected. we became instant brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like how we all connected. Me and him knowing it don't matter this time and about the strength of the relationship. And but them things are more, health is more important than money.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, you know, like keeping yourself up. Like I think I'm very healthy at 48. I never had, I never even had a toothache at 48. So I'm proud of that. And you know, not have no high blood pressure.
My man said a toothache.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love
like, but that's the truth. That's the great thing to be grateful for.
Right. I'm grateful for like
everything. All little small things. Everything is a
even my second life. Yeah. Like me, like I see people that I went to school with and like they passed already, or they not able to do certain things, and like I'm running around like a kid at 48. And you know, working out every day and running here and
because
doing
it's value more. Because that's what I'm saying. Like if anybody's watching this and understand that, what we trying to say. I'm not saying money ain't nothing, dog. Trust me, money.
Yeah, no, it's something.
Money, man. Money makes
money
me
is
happy,
something. Listen,
right? But if I'm telling you, when people chasing it, so when you down and you don't have money, just look if you got the other ones that some people wish they had, right?
If money your only problem, then you pretty blessed.
Yeah, because
there's plenty of money to get.
Because you gotta think, right? Somebody that's in this dying bed, right? A whole head, and he's like, all the money. He like, man, I give you it all, just to
live again,
just to trade,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, because then people don't see what's the value of money. If when you compare it to time, to family, to health, you know, to relationships, it don't even probably fall in the top 5.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is the richest, well, supposedly richest man in the world, and he can't buy a minute. He can't buy one single minute.
Nope. Can't.
I don't care how much money he worth. 300 billion.
Yeah. If he gotta go, he gotta go.
He gotta go.
If tomorrow's his time,
right?
Tomorrow's his time.
Right.
Go,
I do think that it's like y'all said, like, you know, I always tell people, you know, money ain't everything, but everybody need to find out for themselves, right? And even, you know, money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
The love of money.
The stuff you would
like
do
I said,
for it.
Poor people love money. Rich people don't necessarily love money. And if you do see rich people that love money, they're not the happy rich people.
Oh, yeah.
Because I meet a lot of, you know, we've all been in the presence of people who got a lot of money, and you're like, wow, this person got a lot of money, but they're not that happy.
He's a nerd.
He's cranky. He's not happy. You know, he don't have family. He might not have the beauty of children. Whatever it is, it's something that they don't have. And I like listening to Reverend Ike. Y'all know who Reverend Ike is? Y'all listen to Reverend Ike? Rev Ike? Y'all listen to Rev Ike. Rev Ike always says that he was a prosperity preacher 70s and 80s, right? Probably before like the new age teachers, but a lot of other preachers didn't like him because Reverend Ike used to come from a point of, listen, and he was a Bible scholar, right? He would say, listen, I don't know why y'all think Jesus and the Bible is telling you to be broke and struggle and be, you know, feeling guilty all the time, feeling shameful, and that you're a sinner. You're not. He was like, the goal of life is, and his whole thing was called the science of living, right? And it was about living in a life that was a fulfilled life. Like he would say stuff like, y'all let the government tell y'all that we got a gas shortage. He's like, I got 12 Rolls Royces outside because he had a church in Harlem, New York. I got 12. He's like, and all them tanks is filled. He was like, but the difference between me and your pastor is you can have those 12 Rolls Royces all filled up with gas too, right? And so his thing was the most important things in life, right? According to Reverend Ike, was love, health, and money, but not money just to have it because it's just paper or it's just, you know, digits on a screen. The money brings you the experiences. The money is the thing that helps you provide for your family. The money helps those family vacations become more enjoyable and something that your children are going to remember for the rest of their lives. So it's not about, and that's my take on money. And I always say I'm glad I didn't ever have millions when I was young and in my early 20s because I wouldn't have known what to do.
Exactly.
I would have blew it. I would have went broke.
Yeah.
Now, I do think I'm a person who would have made it again and would have made it back. But now it's like I know it's more about the experiences, right? And anything I buy.
And you can help.
And I can help.
You can help more people.
And I'm willing to help more.
Because
in my 20s, I don't know how many people I would help, or I would have helped people foolishly, right? Because think about where we come from, right? When we nowadays, I don't want nobody to know money about money or whatever. That's you know, and I don't ask people about their money, right? But back in the day, when you're young, mentally, I wasn't prepared for that. I would have had to tell it. People would have known how I had some money, and I couldn't say no to certain people, right? Now I got the power to say no. Right, or the power to say, listen,
you talking
I like
about just your
right.
family if you had that type of cash.
Yeah,
okay.
like Look, and now I got the power to say, listen, bro, I love your idea. I love it. Bring me a business plan. Make it make sense to me. Let's talk about it, right?
But I think another way though, you talk about money and not saying nothing too. That's harmful too, because people not used to talking about it and seek a conversation, and now we not spreading the information about it. It's like,
I'm gonna talk about it with people that
right?
understand.
So that's the man when you.
I'm talking about the cars. I'm walking around like just
because if you tell broke people how much money you made, now you got it. Right? It's not even how you made it. It's like you got it, right? But when you tell people, because I always used to tell my homies, I always told my homies how much money I made, and I never said it on some bragging. It was never like, yo, man. It was more of a play, like what you said, like, yo, I just did this. I paid for this. It was this much. I put this much in it, and this is how much it's worth. I break all the numbers down because I don't care, because I don't feel like there's a competition. I don't feel like I'm out here or you out here to do me dirty, especially.
I think we can all get it.
But the people that we putting stuff around, because people like, yo, Al, you can't tell everybody around, all your friends about money. I'm like, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Because they my friends.
Right.
You don't know how to pick up friends. If you can't tell your friends, that's
right.
Your
you got the wrong friends.
Yeah, like my dogs, we can talk about
we talk about all of that. Yo, we made such a Bitcoin.
Yo,
I made this
and that.
Right.
Like, yo, Al, yo, put some money here. Or yo, I took an L on this one. You got late. But that's how wealthy people talk.
And I want to be around. Notice something with wealthy people too. Wealthy people hang around people. They can say, yo, I got this idea. I need 10 million. I need 10 million. Right. I realized that I got to be around people that's how our relationship got to be, right? If it's not like that, I don't know how close we can be, right? Yo, I got an idea, bro. Like, I need you to invest in it. Trust me on this one, right? Obviously, you don't just give it away, but yo, tell me about it. If it makes sense, like, and I'm more or less like, look, if you dig it too, man, trust me on this one. Let's put it in motion.
Or on some stuff, be like, right now I can't, you know what I mean? Because that's your job. But the thing is, they're having these conversations before, and I won't even know. I'm like, yo, I could have helped,
right?
But because you were so stuck, like, yo, one of my man, like, let's say, for example, right? Let's say you make an offer on a property, right? And I don't know you make it. I'll probably make one,
right?
So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go up. Then you gonna go up. We just went against each other,
and we lost money.
We don't even know you my man.
You could have partnered on
now, but at the end, you probably outbidded me. But you just made 10 grand on top just because you was battling the person you didn't even know.
Right.
But if you would have hit me, yo, Al, this property, I'm out there. Oh, cool. Go ahead, dog. You know what I mean? Because if you can't do that. People scared, man, to talk about money. And I get it, man. There's evil people in this world.
People scared to talk about their money.
But just don't be around evil people.
Don't be around. That's what I said.
You can choose who you want to be around. And that's very much like how you... That's what they say. Look at your 5 of your friends, and you can tell what you're gonna be in the future.
Well, they say if you hang around 5 broke people, you guaranteed to be number 6.
So
but a lot of people use people that's lower than them to elevate them. They don't realize that doesn't elevate you. That just keeps you stuck in where you are.
Look, man, it's like the saying. It's like what I say when you mean people that keep lower. That's like somebody.
Right.
If somebody do coke, right? They'll be like, well, at least I don't do dope, right? My man do dope, right? So they will feel like it's okay to do that because they keep somebody lower than them, right? So anybody, right? Like if you in the streets, you be like, yo, I'm doing this, but I ain't as bad as this guy. That's cool, but if you always keep people lower, you cannot get better.
You can't get better. You got to elevate. You want to be in a different room. You want to be in a room, like I want to be in a room with people that know things that I don't know, that have
100%
money that I don't have, or
teach me
not even about the money they have, but the ideas.
I want to be the least smartest or the
least
successful person in the room, and everything that I gain is going to be.
And it's not always going to be like that, but that's what you try and go. But if you constantly just because you want to show off on your little homies, you only going to be as good as your little homies. Right. Everybody else think you're nobody because you. And I think that
people got to stop this, like, trying to keep everything to themselves. Like like I know, like if I was like, look, if I wanted to flip a house right in Camden, I know I can come to you and say, Al, I found this property. I need you to give me steps 1 through 100. Right. A lot of people hide their knowledge, right? And don't want to share it because they worried about it's enough out here for everybody to eat, right? Everybody to get a piece. Because I've been I remember when like pre-2008 when the housing market was crazy, everybody was flipping houses. I was asking people like, yo, I want to, I was working in a corporate job. I had some money. I was like, look, I want to get into flipping houses. Nobody wanted to share the information, right? What I always tell people now, when somebody asks me like, yo, how you do this or what you do or what's your setup look like, I give it to them. People are like, yo, why you tell them? Because I'm like, listen, they can do the same thing. I can give them everything, but they're not going to be me, right? And that's every single person, every individual. Nobody's going to buy property like Al Camden Reynolds or build that type of influential movement like you did. Nobody's going to come out, do 30 plus on vacation and then come out and have the kind of energy that you have, no matter what you tell them, no matter how much you motivate them, right? Nobody's going to do things the way I do it. And that's kind of how I look at it. I'm like, I'll tell you everything I know. Because if it's going to help you get here in life or take a step or break through a barrier, then I'll serve the purpose.
And that comes back, man. Like,
it all comes back.
That comes back, yo, like 1,000 times, man. I've been extremely blessed. So I'm gonna continue to bless and some information that if I do give out, y'all don't take it, cool. But I'm doing it on the strength of me being a good individual, man. And the people that, man, I'm telling you, man, you be a good person. I don't care if you had to give away a house just because somebody else was able to eat. Though that thing comes back. I'm a fact, dog, proven fact, man.
Yeah.
Anybody I help, for whatever reason, man, I'm not extremely religious, but I believe in a higher power, bro. Somebody up there, like, you did that. I seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You gonna be blessed, man, and I feel that every day.
Yeah, you can't be a gatekeeper like me. That's why I wrote my book. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a book because I do this every day, and a lot of people didn't.
I like that.
I thought a lot of people knew about it,
right?
And even in the industry, I ran into a lot of agents, and I'm like, yo, we're gonna close this wholesale deal. And they were like, what's a wholesale deal? I never did it before, and I had to educate them on how to close these deals. So I was like, you know what? Let me put it out there, and let me not be a gatekeeper of information. And I'd say this: I did 25 years in prison. Guess what? Opportunities out here before I left, and when I came back home, it was even more.
Right.
So it's never gonna be. It's never gonna be a not enough opportunity for you to get an eye. People say, why are you creating your own competition? I said, how? Because it's so much opportunity. I can't do it all. You can't do it all.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. People think it's competition. Like if I'm telling you to buy houses in Camden and you buying a couple, and then one time you be like, man, I can't even get that.
Right.
What do you think you hitting?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I've been getting deals just people that I just on the strength of knowing them. Now that I'm in this position, like people like, yo, how you get all the deals? I'm like, now.
Yeah, I put in 4 years work, burning the candle at night.
Right.
I was by myself.
People, my routine is I get up sometimes like at least like 3 times a week at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I start researching foreclosure delicious. I start doing my research 3 o'clock in the morning, and now I want to work out. So I work from like 3 to 5, and then I go to the gym after that. And I sometimes it be 2 o'clock. I go to sleep early to get up early to work during the night because my phone ain't ringing. This is the best time I can. My phone ain't ringing. I ain't expecting nothing but to work. And I work, and that's my best work. But what I'm saying is you got to put the work in to get them results. Like Al, people saying now, yo, how you
deserve your dream
deal and make 20K?
Deserve your dream.
But guess what? Is a lot of times he had to put down. He might they put in and he ain't make nothing, or he made 2K. I had deals. I just had a deal fall through me on yesterday, right? The real life deal, right? So I was closing a deal Friday, right? 24 hours before my deal closed, the buyer comes to me and say, I'm backing out. I'm like, damn. The next day I was supposed to collect the check. Today the deal failed out. And I could have been discouraged. I could have woke up this morning and be like, whatever. But guess what I did? I went right past that call and just went at the next deal.
Gotta go to the next one.
And that's like mind state, because some people will get discouraged. Yeah. And that's another thing what I wanted to tell people about wholesaling is like you get up the phone, you might get 1,000 no's. But that one yes can change your life for real. Like I've done transactions where, like days where I'll be like, every phone call, and I'm like, I'm just making one more. Right. And my biggest deal came that next call, and I made 50K. So what I'm saying is that you just got to keep at it, and your big why really can't be money. That's another thing.
Right.
It can't be money, because money you're going to eventually give up, and you can't get enough money to satisfy your soul or your why. So my why now is opportunity, giving other people opportunity, blessing other people with the knowledge. Right. I'm never going to be a gatekeeper. I'm always going to be like, I'm going to put it out there. And another thing is, I notice the more I can tell 100 people in a room yo, go out and do this and you can make this type of money.
Right.
It's only going to be 1 or 2 people
It's only
going to try.
do it.
And that's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think people got to learn, one, you got to deserve your dream. And that starts inside first, right? So you got to feel you deserve your dream. But then you got to deserve your dream in the outside world, which means you got to put the work in to get to that dream. Right. You know what I'm saying? Then you got something on that?
Go ahead.
Then the other point I'm going to make based on this conversation too, and then I'll let you go out, then I'm going to have a question, is we talked about people. There shouldn't be anybody around you that don't believe in you. There should be nobody around you that don't believe in you. So I would say over these next 3 days before 2025 hit, take inventory of your surroundings, take inventory of your people around you. If there's people that don't believe in you, and it's not easy, it's going to hurt, but you got to distance yourself if you want to get to the next level in 2025. I got a question, but I'll let you go, Al. You had a thought?
No, so what you just mentioned about we all got to be deserving, right? Right, that's deserving of what you want, right? Because I had made a post the other day, man, and like you cannot want something as bad as you're gonna want to work for it, man, and that is so powerful to me, yo. Like, and then I was recording at a property that I just purchased on Christmas Day, and it wasn't nothing crazy, but I know people want so much, man, and you be like you said, are you deserving?
Do you deserve it?
You deserve that, man. Like I mentioned, people like, yo, you get all the deals, man, and I get passionate about this. And I'm like, man, you don't know when I had zero, man. I used to go to these events. 0 people know me, dog. I'm tatted up. I'm hood. Nobody look like me. And I used to be like, man, I'm going to have to start talking to people. I'm going to have to, you know what I mean? Because I can talk to people from around the way all day, right? Because this
but
is
you got to know how to expand your circle.
So I'm like, I got to get to these people to like me, right?
Right.
So when I was by myself, when I was going to these events, when they was looking at me weird, going to these closings, right, to these title companies, I used to be in my head like, man, they all looking at me, man. Now, yeah, I go to the room, everybody know me, right? Yeah. Now, I get every deal, right? But only people that sees that now be like, man, how you, I'm deserving of this.
I deserve this.
Right? Like, so people be like, man, I want to get to work.
Right.
Well, you got a couple years, dog. Like, if you're not out here doing
sweat
this
equity,
much, dog,
everybody. Eric Thomas, one of my favorite motivational speakers.
Wow, that thing,
y'all know,
you gotta deserve this.
Y'all know, I love Eric Thomas. He say everybody want to be a lion, but not everybody want to do what lions do.
That's what's
you know what I'm saying?
That's
everybody want to be a lion, but not everybody want to do what lions do. You know what I mean?
E.T. don't even know.
He done got me through a lot.
No, E.T. and mentored me. Listen, I get up in the morning, and if it's not music that's in my ear, and I'm a big Nipsey Hussle.
Love Nip.
Nipsey Hussle. But if it's not that, I listen to E.T. Yo, he wakes me up like what you said. Life is short. Like he the one that phrase of, well, I don't got 400 years to live. If I had 4 years, I could slow down. But I don't got 400 years, so it's all gas for me from here. And I take that.
Wake up, man.
And even me, like I because I was away so long, bro. People don't understand. Like they be like, you got to have balance. I said, but my balance was already balanced because I was on vacation for 25 years. So that's why I worked these next 25 years. So, like my balance is different, but like, you know, and it, you know, in some ways people understand, like Al, you understand, like me and you, we do business together. Yeah. We've done properties together. We got other business, Morning Dew. We got other Debonair. Debonair. So we know it takes that burning the oil. I tell people all the time, listen to Steve Harvey. He said something that I never forget. He said, if you sleep, because they recommend you sleep 8 hours a day, that's a third of your life. And I'm so fearful because I'm like, I did 25 years. Then you want to take another third of my life sleeping. Of your life. I'm good with these little 3-4 hours, and I'm back up and back at it. But I mean, I know to some people it might seem harmful, and some doctors might say whatever.
Yeah, but that's all a system. Me, that's all a system.
That's all part of the system, and that's your, like I say, like even about my health. People like, oh, you can't do this at a certain age or certain this, and I try to like none of these doors that you put in front of me gonna stay closed. If you say that, dog, maybe I don't know how to get through that door at this moment, but I'm gonna go find out how to get through this door.
But even if you like to sleep, like I don't even care what you like to do, but just don't complain about anything else. Like you like, like what you said. If you like to sleep a lot, cool. Just don't be on social media talking about, man, I can't get up, I can't do this, I can't do that. You be like,
you sleep too much.
Listen, yo, I slept like 4 hours a day for like the last 20 years.
I sleep
Man, I
4 or 5
sleep
hours.
like 10 hours now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you at a point where you can do it now.
I'm at a point, if I want to lay down, man, I'm not
Right.
You got to, but you had to work to that point.
Right.
And that's what people tend to leave out, yo.
Right.
We are deserving. Not saying we still hungry.
Well,
If
you know what it
tell
is,
me
too?
at 4, I get there.
People, the key to being wealthy, successful, achieving anything you want is the people that do it enjoy the journey. So many people are worried about the result and the destination, right? And that's all they think about. You got to actually embrace and enjoy the journey, right? Yeah. Everything about the journey and the road that you're going to take, that's where the fun is.
Oh,
right?
I love it.
Right? Because think about a car, right?
Like,
it's fun drive. Like I love cars, right? It's fun driving a Lambo, not parking it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's driving that car that's exciting.
But the Lambo is only nice because
somebody think it's nice.
No, because you drove a bucket. Right. If you wake up,
I'm 100% with that.
If I give you the Lambo when you're 18, you don't care what it is.
Right. Right.
You don't know your next car is a Ferrari, whatever.
Exactly.
That's how you. But like you said, the hard work, like I needed them.
You can't appreciate it. You need to be broke.
Appreciate
it. Everything that there's, you can't have one without the other.
You can't.
Right.
You can't.
So I need that, even though it sucks, and we can be bitter. And I know, like yourself, and you being so positive, like we look at them Joneses, like,
right.
I needed that.
That's why so many suburban rich kids have such a problem growing up, right? Because when you give them everything, they don't know how it is to be poor. They don't know how it is not have a dollar. They don't know how it is to drive a beater or a little beat up joint. They always knew, all they knew was the high life.
I ain't
right?
gonna lie. When my back against the wall,
I perform at my best because that's what I'm used to.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I've been homeless. Like I've been homeless before. Within these last couple of years ago, right? I've been home for 4 years now.
Right.
Congratulations on my birthday
absolutely.
coming up.
Let's go.
Yeah, and it's been times when I first came home that I tried some shit. Like I was hustling. I had me a shop,
right.
And the business fell, and I was homeless, and said my girlfriend kicked me out, and all of that. So I was at that point where it was like I was sleeping in my shop. But guess what? I never did. I never called nobody.
Right.
I never called nobody. Be like, yo, I need some way. No. The next day, I figured out a way to make a couple dollars.
Man, it's crazy.
And make a couple more dollars.
I learned that from my father. I learned that from my father when I was young because my father always said, like, it's going to be people in family that complain to you. They're going to come to you. He was like, because I always tell my father never complains about nothing. He said, yo, I ain't bringing my problems to nobody else. My problem is between me and God. And he going to give me the strength to work it out. That's right. You know what I mean?
Your problems can't be mine. My problems can't be yours.
Exactly. They can't be.
There's been times where I've been really like poor, right? I couldn't even feed myself. And like I might be eating tuna fish and hot dogs all week. But guess what? People didn't know that because I never, like, that's not the energy I reflected. You know what I'm saying? People always like, even when I remember sometimes when I was broke, and I just did get the courage to ask somebody for something. They're like, get out of here. They thought I was playing. Because they were so used to, they see me smiling. I'm not like depressed because I know it's only a part of my journey, right? I see a lot of other successful people that made it and successful. And guess what they say? They went through these things too.
Right.
So that's why, like, having social media and the power of social media helps me too, because I can see relatable people on there that I can look to. I'm like, oh, they went through that too. They burnt, their lights went out.
But a lot of us that are here, the story is just a different story.
It's just a different story.
Yeah, same thing.
Results, right? Like, I could never look at somebody that made it from, you know what I mean, from nothing. Like, not saying from nothing being all the way, but just starting their own business. I'm always have a little line of respect, right? Because I know how hard it takes.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
you know what it takes.
I don't have to like what you're doing or whatever.
Right.
With the line of respect as looking at an entrepreneur, because I know the risk that we all have to take. Like, it don't have to be all the same. It don't have to be the same road, but we know it's not like a switch and be like, I'm gonna open up this tomorrow and look, it's successful.
No,
I always respect the shot takers. I always respect people with resiliency, the people that have a never-ending drive and don't quit. Because, I look at some of I've always had ideas, right? And I've started ideas, but you start, you stop, you start, you stop, and it's like, all right, I'll move on to another idea. You never just take it there. And then later on you see your idea come to life. You like, yo, somebody done brought my idea to life. But, I always respect that because it's just people don't understand, like, Al, what you do every day. You look back at it. Don't you love the journey?
No, I mean, love it.
Because you keep doing it.
Post it.
You don't even need to do it no more if you don't want to.
Not one more.
Like, you don't got to do none, but you love the journey. You love the process. You love the process. You wrote a book. I want to write a book, right? But you know what my problem was? The reason why I never finished my book, I probably got 3 books that I started and never finished, right? And, you know, being transparent with y'all, right? The reason I never finished it because I was so worried about the end. I was so worried about write the book to sell it, not write the book and enjoy the journey and what comes out of it. What am I going to discover from the book? I want to move on to something else too, because I think that one thing people are afraid of, they're afraid of pressure, right? They think if, you know, having a job, getting a check, being in a comfortable situation, somebody holding your hand, it creates this level of comfort, right? And everybody knows that comfort is the enemy of success. So my question is, and me personally, I believe that pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege because it means that great things are expected of you. So I'm going to ask y'all, and each y'all answer, first or second, whoever won, how do y'all deal with pressure? Because I think people need to know that.
Yeah, listen, I love pressure. I
have no excuses. He
because I get it, right? Because there's nothing comes out of nothing if we ain't got no, like, I apply pressure, dog. Like, that's just what I'm here for. Right. I'm not here to play no games half-ass. If I want something, I'm applying pressure, yo. Yeah. Like, it's not a coincidence that where I'm at. You know what I mean? It's not like damn, I just been getting lucky. No, man, because I'm out here calling, texting, like, yo, what's up? Where we at? Where we gonna buy that? And even when you look at my social media, like, this is pressure, yo. Like, I'm applying pressure every day. I buy houses. This is what I'm doing. I'm fixing it up, and I'm even letting the world know. Listen, I'm buying property. Like, I'm applying pressure even on the social media, because I'm not scared of it, man. Because if I don't if I don't apply pressure, or if I'm scared of the pressure and then I'm gonna fucking kneel down like a little, you know what I mean, bitch, like, that's not the type of time I'm on, man. I'm on some, like, let me get it. Right. I want the smoke because I know on the other side is where the success is.
I love it. I got something to say about that, Martin.
But me,
talk about how you...
I kind of look at pressure like a challenge, right? Right. And me, I show my value when it's a challenge. You like me, I'm a problem solver. So when you come to me with a problem, I'm very optimistic and I'm gonna figure it out. So to me, when pressure is where I do my best work at.
You know, because it's a challenge to me. Like at school, I had to write a paper. I wasn't the person who's going to write a paper 2 weeks ahead before it was due. I wrote the night before it was due, right? I never studied for tests. I got my real estate license, my broker's license. I don't study. The night before I take the test, I study, right? All right, cool, this is what I need to know. It's something about pressure that creates something. Diamonds are created from, diamond is an ugly ass rock. It's a coal that's created. The beauty of a diamond is created from pressure, extreme pressure. So something that was real funny to me when it comes to pressure, because I look at pressure as something that's necessary. And the way, what I'm going to tell people, the way to approach pressure, the way to approach success, anything, is there's a difference between being confident and cocky. You have to be confident. Something that Coach Prime said. I love Deion Sanders. Everybody know I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. So, and Deion Sanders is one of my favorite athletes. But recently he was in an interview and somebody said, hey, Coach Prime, you guys are doing well. Do you subscribe to pressure? You know what he said? He looked right at the camera, or the reporter. He said, look at me, man. Look at me, man. He like, do I look like I subscribe to pressure? Look at me, right? He had the shades on and shit. And he said, we don't subscribe to pressure. We apply pressure. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a level of confidence. Like, that's why I said earlier, I think it starts within, right? You got to have a mental, like this, you have to have the mental capacity to believe in yourself. So, you know, your faith in yourself has to be so powerful and so strong that the people that don't understand, let them not understand, because they're going to think you cocky. They're going to think like, yo, he think he that dude. That's fine. But people like us will understand how you feel, because that's how we feel. Every day we wake up feeling invincible, like we're going to crush the day. Like, you got to have that. That's how you apply pressure. That's how pressure doesn't feel like pressure that you subscribe to. It feels like, yo, I'm applying pressure for that. You know what I mean?
And another thing is, like, when people like me, my change, I stopped hanging, because, you know, people have like this definition of you, and then, like, just say like Al used to be the bad kid, and then they had this definition, so you'll be afraid to kind of like challenge that or change. You know what I'm saying? Me, that's why I always just kind of like looked at, like, if people try to apply pressure To me, it was just a challenge, just something to overcome. I looked at it as fuel, almost how people look at it as hate. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be like, man, just because you can't do it, or you know what I'm saying. So I never really looked at pressure like I had pressure against me. But again, then it might, because I ain't had no high expectations to do it at one time.
But think about it, man, because it's all that could be a reason too. It's all perspective, dog. People think buying a house is pressure,
right?
Dog. Like having 3 kids with no baby dad, and you don't know when you're gonna get your next meal. That's pressure, dog. That's pressure. Like, we talking about real estate or little issues or problems, dog.
Or making something.
It's some people that can't walk. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's people that's sick. Like, that's pressure. Like, that's the thing is, when
it's always perspective.
It's all perspective. When you look at the stuff that we think is pressure, for somebody else is what? That's more of a disrespect to anybody like that. Like, so when I do look at it, it's more of a, all right, well, let me learn this, right? Or whatever, because pressure is people that is not eating tonight. So somebody's outside right now that don't have nowhere to stay and it's pouring. Yeah. That's pressure.
That's when you got to be appreciative. Like, 100%. That's what one thing about, I'm very grateful. Like, every little thing I'm grateful for. I'd be grateful for what I can do midnight runs.
Yeah,
you know why? One time I couldn't go out inside midnight.
Right.
You know, it's like, when, like, you know, my case, I was deprived so long. Now I'm like, I'm grateful for every little thing. And people be like complaining about a certain thing. And I'm be like, yo, you know, for a long time, I couldn't even get a hug. So, like, you complaining about this thing.
It's all perspective.
It's all perspective. And, like, so some people be like, you callous to it. It's just like, I'm like, but as long as I'm breathing.
Yeah, because that's priority to you.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I got a roof. I'm like, I'm not tripping over that. For a long time, even in my apartment, bro, I ain't even had furniture. Like, I just had a bed and a futon. And, like, I thought I was cool because I'm like,
well, you came from.
Well, I came from, this is a palace.
Right.
I got the key to my own door.
Man, listen. Growing up in a 3-bedroom, 800 square foot house my whole life with 1 bathroom that your whole family shared. And, you know, and I grew up, you know, on Vine Street in Trenton. My house I grew up in was my grandma's house. It was my grandma and grandpa's house. That means that it was the whole family house. So at any given time, there was an uncle, there was an aunt, there was some cousins. It wasn't just y'all, it was everybody. And so imagine sometimes you had 8 people in the crib, right? So when I got a little older and moved out to the burbs, got in my first apartment, that was like people didn't understand it. Like, I'm like, yo, they like, yo, this little ass apartment. I'm like, you don't understand.
No, I'm free.
Like, I got my own bathroom. Like, or maybe I even had a roommate, just 2 of us got to share a bathroom or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And then you move out to the burbs and now we in a different time in life. I still, like, when y'all came here, I'm standing outside in my garage and it's raining, looking around. I just look around in awe of all this shit sometimes. I'm in awe of this shit. I don't care how successful I am. I'm going to be forever in awe of just life.
Yo.
Life. I said, man, everything.
Dog.
I get in my car. It turns on every time.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
Forever, dog. If you live life.
I be trying to get that through to my kids. Sometimes my son will complain about little
hard,
shit. And I be like, you don't get it yet. He ain't going to get it yet.
Yeah.
But you going to understand. But I try to tell him, like, bro, you don't understand. Do you know where I grew up? Do you know what I saw? Do you know what a blessing it is to have all of this?
And what you had would have been way better than somebody else.
Listen,
somebody else.
Like where I grew up, we grew up in the hood. Yeah, but people on the block was worse.
Worse. Yeah, you have people sleeping outside.
And the thing is, when I grew up, I loved what I had. I loved my childhood. I would never change anything about growing up. The memories we created.
But you don't know nothing else.
You don't know nothing else. I didn't know what rich was. I didn't know what rich was or big houses. I didn't know none of that stuff mattered until I got older. Yeah. You know what I mean? 18, 19, 20, until I got older. I didn't have no concept of that. I didn't know. It was like, told people that I don't care about somebody's house being big.
You know, going to prison where I'm from was kind of like a rite of passage. It was kind of like, you know, ever seen Roots when they take the people out in the woods?
Yeah.
And they teach them how to spirit chuck? Well, basically, where I grew up at in Trenton, New Jersey, everybody went to prison. It was a part of your manhood. It was a part of you know, people came home like, oh, such and such, how much you did. And they was actually bragging on the time.
Bro, like, I was just telling somebody about that, right? Because, like, I was talking to somebody about prison lingo, right? And I've never been to prison, right? And I always tell people, listen, I grew up in Trenton. I grew up on the streets, but I wasn't in the streets, right? I had friends, grew up with people that, you know, did different things. But so I don't know prison lingo, right? And I would tell people, like, yo, I don't understand. Like, somebody said they had to commute or they had this and that. I'm like, I don't really understand what that means because I've never been to prison, right? However, you know, I made a choice, though. And that's what my point is, like, I was on the street, but hang around people that respect what you want to do, right? None of the people I hung around ever got mad that when it was time to get in the street, I went home or I checked out and went somewhere else. That's why my crew is the same crew I've had for years, right? No matter if we go a year without talking because family, life, whatever. Martin, I ain't seen you. I haven't seen you in 30-something years. It only took one time to run into you, and now I talk to you every day.
We was at a male empowerment
thing at Trenton High. And what I'm saying is, you know, stop being around people who don't appreciate where you're going and who you are, right? And, you know, be who you are. Be your unapologetically authentic self, right? Al, like you said, you used to walk into these meetings and you're like, yo, people probably think like blah, blah, but you ain't changed yourself for them. You made them understand who you are. It made you
attract people. People like, yo, he got tattoos. No, let me see what this interesting guy's about.
And then because business like action talk.
Right.
Like,
it's action.
Like, there's no I get busy. Like, so I look like this and it's like I always tell people, I'm in a business that I can do and be whoever I want.
Right. Success overcomes everything.
There's no feeling. There's no like, oh, they're going to laugh. Because I'm convinced.
Right.
I'm not a cornball. I'm convinced, you know, I ain't corny. I'm convinced I treat people good. I'm a good.
And that starts inside you.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Inside you.
Done. Like, I can walk into a room and everybody like, yo, this guy, I think, man, I'm too convinced. There's no bad energy that's going to take that away. So, when I get into these positions now and I show action, meaning I'm able to buy, I'm able to close, I'm able to get these deals done. Nobody cares.
They don't care about your background.
Man, that will get busy.
I walk in these places, I be like, you know, what I know is like, I'm confident what I know.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I'm confident that I can do what I say I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just like when I walk into, you've been with me on the event, I'm not an agent. I'm a real estate professional, but I'm not an agent. I don't got the badge. But guess what? I walk into these places with my head like this. What?
Right.
And I know what I know.
Right.
So there ain't nothing that you can really like. If I know what I know, I'm confident I'm gonna stand doing that. You know what I'm saying?
And think about this. It's a reason why us three are even together, right? Because iron sharpens iron, and like energy attracts like energy. That's just what it is. So if you're missing that in your circle, like I said, you got to do some inventory. It's going to be, you got to make some tough choices to be successful. You got to make tough choices to elevate yourself to the next life. Elevation requires separation. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be just a part of what you're going to have to do.
What Wallow said? Wallow said, this is why I love Wallow.
Wallow posted something the other day that was very inspiring too.
8 billion people in this world. Why you cared about these little couple people right here? And I really take that to heart. I said, you know what? Man. That's a real shit.
The other day, I'm at the gym and I don't got one of these, right? So I'm over here trying to grab my phone and try to
put it on something.
On something. I'm like, man, people probably looking at me and I'm like, I don't give a
fuck.
Right?
That's how it is.
Like in my head, like somebody right there, I'm like,
yo,
I don't give a fuck.
They see me all the time. They see me, they be like, oh, what you shooting? I'll be like, yeah.
It's a book that y'all need to read. It's called The Subtle Art, y'all people out there, because we don't give a fuck. We who we are.
Subtle art.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I read that.
That's a great book, right? But I realized, like I talked about it earlier, like why do you think bad people are always so successful? They get the money, they get the relationships, the love and all that, is because they don't give a fuck, right? People that are successful, people that create companies that develop or creators or create their own lane, it's some type of mindset, and part of that mindset they just don't give a fuck.
And I love it.
I love it. Talk about mindset, right?
Mindset is the number one thing.
I know that's something that we all share.
My I don't give a like. It starts with that. The only thing that I don't care how much information, how much money, anything. Like if you thought the same way last year that you think this year,
it ain't gonna work.
It's gonna be the same. If you think the same way next year, how you think this year, I don't care how much New Year's resolution, you're gonna be in the same place. Like, and we all can meet somebody right now and talk to them today, and we can tell if they're gonna next year. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be like, all right, yo, I want to do this, yo. I want to do this. You be like, all right, how you gonna do it? I don't. All right.
What you work to do
next year,
right?
You're gonna like, cause because it's always somebody with a plan. I mean, with an idea without a plan, and you be like, you're gonna fail every time. So if you don't change your mindset, I don't care what you do.
Yeah, I think that, like, you know, one thing that people got to realize is you got to change your expectations, right? One, you got to change your expectations of yourself. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to expect great things, right? Yes. Don't call me complaining, gossiping, or anything negative. I don't take negative energy, right? Yep. I understand that we all can't be happy-go-lucky all the time, but I don't do negative energy, right? We, especially unnecessary negative energy. I just don't do it, right? I don't watch the news, right? I don't want to turn on how many murders was in the city, or
that's how you can tell we insane. Because I'd be like, man,
I don't mean nothing to me.
I made a post of that, right? I said when that Diddy thing came out, you know, my whole timeline, somebody reposting it, and I said, I get it. People like ratchet entertainment, right?
I mean, get it. But they call it mindless, but it's not mindless.
But I was like, with all these people that posted X amount of stuff with the Diddy or anything that's headlines, now post your friend's clothing store.
You ain't posting the business.
Yeah. You ain't posting, you know what I mean? You owe me cleaning, Joe.
Yeah,
you can't. How I'm supposed to?
And it's free.
Go into your page and you tell people that, oh man, I'm here to support people. I'm out here, or nobody support me, or whatever.
Look at the shirt he got on. Yeah. Look at the shirt he got on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You had it on the other day.
Yeah, this is my cousin's shirt. My cousin make these 609 Trenton, New Jersey shirts.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but people rather do that. Oh, Diddy, whatever's headlines. That's what rather show.
The minute somebody tell me something about Camden, you know you the first. I text you, yo, Al, somebody just ran across me. You know what I mean? You know how we do. Yo, Mark, what's up, bro? I got this. They got it. This is your lane. What's up?
You know what, me though? I'd say this though. I don't repost everybody's stuff on one factor because it ain't in the same lane.
You can.
If it's in the same lane, because me, I post for a purpose. I post for mind state and real estate. Mind state, real estate.
No, 100%. What I mean is people just post to post anyway.
People. I get what you're saying, because there's people that will support a celebrity before they support you.
And your dog right there doing the same thing.
I say that about clothes.
Yo, your dog right there doing the same thing, dog.
You know what though? It's like, I don't know if it's like the mountain. You too close to the mountain, I call it. Yeah. Because I tell people the same thing about real estate. The one thing I have people, the number one, like mine say, I tell, what's the number one thing keeping you launch you in the real estate? And I say, you know, either
your mindset.
They won't even pick up the phone.
Right.
So, like, I'll be like, you just got to pick up the phone. Like, that's to be the number one thing. Just pick up the phone.
Taking action. If you don't take action, ain't nothing. The law of attraction requires action. I tell people that all the time.
Before we came down here, my aunt called me. And shout out to my aunt. My aunt called me. And she wanted to do, she'd been talking about jumping into wholesaling real estate.
Right.
And I told her to, you know, to write down some property addresses, because when I went to her house in North Carolina, it was a lot of abandoned properties around. I said, this is a perfect place to start.
Perfect place, right?
When you walking, doing your steps, you can be writing down these addresses.
If you want it.
And today she called me, which was like a couple months later, and she said, I said, have you picked up the phone? She said, no. I even skip traced the numbers for her to give her so she can call. I said, did you ever call? She was like, no. And I said, Auntie, you know, I mentor people, and the number one thing I got to get people to do is just pick up the phone.
Mm-hmm. Make the
I'm
call.
like, you got to pick. That's the first.
I got a quick story, right? I think I told this last time we were together. So 2008 happened. I went broke in late 2008, 2009, because everything crashed for me. I was in the flip game down in Baltimore. And, you know, I know we talk about like books and mind state. So, of course, I discovered the law of attraction, right? I read the book, The Secret. Somebody gave it to me as a housewarming gift. And then
I listened to that.
Yeah.
I listened to that because of you.
So I was cleaning out my crib. And when I was moving, because I had to sell my house, my first house that I thought was like the biggest accomplishment ever. Like I bought a house. I'm like, this is like 3 times the size of the house I grew up, blah, blah. And as I remember when she gave me the book on the house one, I was like, what's this? Boom, threw in the back of the cabinet, right? When I was moving out and cleaning stuff up, I found the book, right? And it's a big point in this, right? So I find the book. I'm sitting there, boxing around, sit down, just me and my dog, my old pit bull Kane. We sat down. I read the whole book, just page for page. The first thing I thought was, well, damn, my whole life must have believed in the law of attraction. Didn't know it, because how did I get from Vine Street, North Side, Trenton, New Jersey to here? And here I am down, right? So most people would say, oh, you read the law of attraction, The Secret, you just believed in it, you believed in it and it happened. No, the difference was I went through a stage of I was depressed packing up my first house that I ever bought. I was probably in the best time of my life, cars, living this life, spending money, whatever. And I was in this stage where I was depressed. That book made me take action. So it wasn't just that I realized the law of attraction. I read the book. I got up out of the dumps, picked myself up. And for the next years, I just went on a run. And I've rebuilt my whole life.
But then you needed that.
I needed that book. But it wasn't just the mindset of, yo, I just read the book and magic started happening. No, I read the book and I got up off my ass and I took action. I went on a run. And even now, when I've had dips, because if you're an entrepreneur, let's admit, you're going to have some dips in business. You're going to have some dips in life. If you're a shooter, you're going to miss some shots. But now I know when I miss those shots, I just keep shooting.
But you got to, but that's like some people be like, like I said, I believe in the higher power extremely, right? Real spiritual.
Yeah, I'm big on God. We all are. That's why we all together.
Real big, but the same thing. People be like, man, like, oh, I'm just gonna pray. If it works out, you like. If you're gonna get on your knees to pray, you're gonna have to work for it.
It don't work.
That's like another, you can't just ask God on some strength, like, yo, put me.
And that's
like, what are you doing?
Look, that's another systematic thing, right? The reason why we got to get past some of the systems and the program that's put in place. Like I was in Camden the other day, right? One of my lodge brothers, I meet him in Camden at one of his churches. Camden, just like Trenton, think about this. In North Trenton alone, there got to be 30 churches, and they little. Some of them are small, whatever. Camden the same way. You go down 5th Street, 6th, it's churches, little churches, just pockets of little churches, right? Think about the fact that, well, it's a good story. I went to a church not too long ago. And it was one of those old churches. And I'm looking around, these people are in their 70s and 80s, right? And they do, at the end of the church, they do, because I'll go visit somebody's church when they ask me to. They do these things called testimonies, right? They'll say, oh, I got a testimony. You know what? My brother, he was on his last leg last week, and he almost, or man, you know, my nephew lost his job, and he was on the street. But my thing is this. The system and the program it teaches you, just pray. Just pray. But the truth is, what you pray for, you got to go out and work for. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? What you pray for, you got to go out and work for. You got to get to it. Because this thing it's nothing but a game and an adventure. And you got to play it.
But that's like a deal. That's a deal with God. You got to make a deal. The deal is that if you put the work in, I'm going to bless you with these things.
Right.
He came up with his 50%. Now you got to come
with your 50%. Yeah, you hear? I got you here, man. Yeah. Some people, I didn't even give him a shot.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? Like I didn't give him a shot.
I didn't give him a shot. I
gave you. You over here playing with your life. What's your potential?
And your reality, I always say, like, if you want to, your reality is something that you create, right? You create this reality that you have. But it isn't just, okay, I'm creating in my mind, but the creation there's a journey that's along with that creation. The creation is a process. Like when God said, right? When God said, let there be light, let there be animals, let there be man. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just let there be man, right? Well, he said, let there be light, let there be. He didn't say, let there be man. He said, then I created man and I made him in my image, right? But it was a process in that. It was a creation process in that. So that's what people got to get over. Yes, you got to create your reality. The only way reality is created is because you create it. But the inside world is where it comes from, and the outside world is where it's executed. Yeah. It's really that simple.
Yeah, you got to execute. You got to be active. Like, even like me, like I tell a lot of people, like, that's what another thing gave me because I used to see people, like, before I went away on that same corner. I'm like, damn, you ain't moved down the block. You don't own nothing. You ain't do nothing in all this time. And I'm like, and then it's technology, and I'm like, you could just look up on your phone, and I'm like, y'all out here playing.
Right.
And like, so when what my problem was? I wanted to do everything. I
was right.
I had a barbershop. I was doing contractor work. I was making T-shirts. I had products. I didn't know, because I was like, it's too much to do. And my problem was not just getting active. I had to slow down my activism. I'm like,
no, that's the thing is, some people just get stuck. It's
man, find your one thing.
Yeah, and then
find your one thing.
Yeah. I just did this thing.
I would rather have my problem though, because analysis paralysis, people being stuck and not getting up, at least trying. You
gotta try. Yeah, that's why I always,
my problem was I tried too much shit.
Martin told me a story one time, bro. Al, this boy told me a story. Right, we was on the podcast. He was like, yeah, one time I was putting a new roof on. I was like, bro, I didn't know you did roofing. Paul said, I didn't know how to do roofing. I was up on the roof with my iPad watching YouTube on how to do a roof.
I didn't know. Listen, Al, I didn't even know how to do a roof. They said you can go up there and do that roof. How much you paying? $10,000. I'm gonna get up on this roof and do it. Man, I had up there. Listen, I was YouTubing how to do a roof on the roof. Kept pausing. All right, put these shingles this way. And I did the roof.
But that's the thing is like people don't understand that. Like, yeah, it wasn't the best, but at the time, that's what it was.
Hey,
like,
you got to do what you got to do.
I fixed a lot of properties, and I know that wasn't the best because you don't got to do that now.
Yeah, bro.
But people ain't willing to do that work before this. You know what I mean?
That's how you got to that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people like, oh, man, I want to be like, all right, go lay a roof. I don't know how to do a roof. Well, that's the reason you ain't going to be successful. I'm not telling you that you know, but would you? Like, I remember my brother one time told me, he said, yo, Al, you should open up a landscape company, right? Because I'm buying houses. And I'm like, nah, but I mean, I don't want to open up a landscaping company, right? I'm doing real estate.
Right.
I'm like, why you don't open up a landscaping company?
Right.
He's like, oh, I don't have a car. I'm like, well, all you gotta do is get a lawnmower and knock on every door.
Right.
And then the more you get a weed whacker. The more you get a trailer. The more you get. He like, man, I ain't doing that. He said, you won't. I said, right now I won't. But if I needed to, hell I would. So that's why me and you won't be the same.
I probably won't even have a lawnmower. I go to somebody and be like, can I borrow your lawnmower? I'll do your grass.
I already gave you the play.
Yeah.
Like, I made the play for him instantly.
Right. Yeah.
But he's like, I can't do. You right. I forgot. My bad.
As long as you say you can't,
I'm cool.
That's your reality.
That's it. So that's why I know me and you. That's why when you see people, you like, I know instantly because people like, man, you won't do that right now. I won't. But you catch that bull when he's broke. I do whatever.
Yeah,
you know
I had like over 30 lawnmower contracts at one time. I ain't even own a lawnmower.
Look, see what I mean?
Yo, bro, they said, yo, you need this grass. How many lawns you got? They was like 30 for this property manager, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I didn't even have a lawnmower, but I found people with lawnmower. And my thing was, I said, listen, I'm gonna go to this guy. I'm like, listen, can you give me the lawnmower?
Right.
I'll pay you extra for the lawnmower, or I found somebody that had a lawnmower outside, and I'm like, look, I'll cut your grass for half price, but can I borrow your lawnmower to cut all these up, for an hour or two? Somewhere in the world, I figured out how to do this whole summer without a lawnmower, and I had these contracts. Every 2 weeks, I was cutting all these grasses. So me, like I said, I'm a problem solver. You put a problem in my place. I trucking company. I started a trucking company before. I didn't even have a truck. I didn't even know how I was gonna get a truck. I didn't have money for a truck. But I said, you know what? I had took this job, or I was working in the factory all day, and I could sit there and they'll let me listen to my phone. So I would YouTube trucking all day. I did this. It takes you like 3 or 4 months for your MC to come back. Right. And I did this for 2 or 3 months in that job, and I learned every lingo of trucking, everything about trucking from YouTube in 12 hours a day. And then what I did was one day, a week before my MC and my US dot number came back, I met a girl from Camden, was right across from me, like at my table one day at work, and she was like, you know, I just came home for jail. I got a truck, but I don't know the business. I said, I got a business. I don't know I don't got a truck. We married.
Boy had a truck.
Yeah, listen, that was my first routes, and then from there, a couple months later, I found the company that would sublease me truck. So what I did, found a bunch of drivers. Listen, I got trucks, so I could sublease. Got them in driver's seats. I let them use my MC and US dot number. And I had 4 trucks on the road within 6 months. And I ain't even owned but one truck. I had that one little truck that I had.
Like a box truck joint.
Yeah, the box truck. But the other ones I was leasing, I had me a whole. And I was making like 30 grand a month doing that. You know what I'm saying? So is a will is a way.
Right.
Is a problem there? Like most, you just got to find it, solve a problem.
Yeah.
And
So I think 2025 is going to be the year where people need to get past. Look, they say that the people who really run the world are people who learn how to let go. Let go of your past. There is no past, right? Yeah. The only thing that matters is the present, right? So many people are concerned or focused on the outcomes, the solution, the future, but you got to focus on right now. Right now is your time. And Martin, you said something that struck a chord with me, but something that you said earlier about 99% and 1%, right? Most people are waiting for their ship to come in, right? 99% of people are waiting for their ship to come in. 1% are swimming out to go get it. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to talk about what people, just sum up what you think people need to do in 2025 to get to the life they want and to live the life of their dreams. So, Al, start off.
I mean, if you're not happy with 2024, stop doing the things you did in 2024. Right? If you're not happy with the position you in, change the position you in. And that's 2025. Like,
how they do it?
If you keep with the same mindset, it's going to continue to, you're going to still get stuck. Challenging yourself, you know what I mean? Like these New Year's resolution is always gym, is always either cigarettes, alcohol, food, and I get it, which a lot of people fail within probably like
3 weeks.
3 weeks is that.
But gym be popping in January, dead in February.
Yeah, but people got to understand, like, people got to think about mental, like how you gonna get better mentally, right? Put yourself a couple books. You know what I mean? Couple network events.
Get around good people.
Get around, start meeting new friends. Like whatever that is, that's going to be able to change it. Because if you in a group and it's you and 9 other guys or 9 other people or a group, if you in that same group is going to be the same. I'm telling you, y'all, it's not a coincidence, yo. Like if you do the same thing you do, like everything I'm doing every year is different what I did last year.
Right.
And I'm cool with that. And people are like, oh, but you did good. But I don't know. Like, ain't we here to get better? Right? Ain't like this to get better. So
let's do better, people.
Yeah, if
you know what I'm saying?
if you get stuck doing the same thing you're doing this year, next year, is because you didn't change nothing. So 2025 got to be a time to change. And that's just not just what you eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
definitely mentally.
Facts. Please don't live your entire life only being 80% of yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Mark.
I say, man, you guys, procrastination to me is just not important enough to you. So you got to make it important enough to you. You got to make a priority that you want to change, you want to grow, you want to elevate, you want to build, and you got to, and people pacing things. So like, if people ain't around you, aspire you to push you forward or to another, you got to change your circle, man. I don't care if they family. Like I cut off a cousin, aunt, sister. Like I'm serious, man. You ain't moving in the same energy as me.
Gone. Pieces, and we got to get there.
I'm chucking up my deuces like Chris Brown and them. I'm serious.
But that's the thing is, if you want to stay the same,
right?
Cool.
That's
up to you.
This ain't for you.
We're not telling you, yo, you have. But we saying if like this podcast, you know what I mean, being activated. If you want to activate into another person, and not saying you got to change completely, but in the life of just not just money, right? Because in listening to this podcast, I hope that's not y'all got that money is not what we doing this for. Yeah. It's freedom. It's time. If you want to get to that level, yes, you had to change everything you doing now. Not everything, but the stuff that's holding you back into 2025. But if you want to be a person that you are now, you comfortable, enjoy the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I hope that we gave you a little bit of information that you can tell somebody else, because we are here to hopefully help people activate, you know what I mean, into 2025.
Yeah.
That's what I posted the other day. The scariest place to be in 2025 is the same place I was in 2024.
Oh man,
that's the scariest place to be to me. Like I'm not being that guy, you know what I'm saying? And you know, every day is a day to like, you know, tear off the sheet before and write a new sheet. Like you couldn't have been like, one thing I want to inspire people is like, you could be one thing one day, and if you feel like you can do something else, and it's like very feasible, you could do that, you could change. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people around you dictate who you are and who you should be. Don't let people, places, things make you, you know, stick to this one person or tell you who you are. I never let people tell me who I was, because if they did, I would still be a criminal, felon, bad, tough, crazy dude running around the hood.
Right.
I'm not that no more. I'm a real estate professional. I gave myself that title, honestly, because I do what things I do on the highest level, and I do my best work, and I'm good at what I do. But I don't let people kind of put that title on me. I put my own title
Create
on
your own
myself.
world.
So that's what if I want to give some people, just get active, just do something. If you have a goal to open up an event club, an event center, or whatever you got goals of doing, just start doing it. YouTube it, look in the dictionary, find out what it's about, be around the people that's in that industry, and that's how you get ahead of the game, even before you get in the game.
Yeah,
you got to study from the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, fellas, like one, parting words. We'll start with you, Martin. We'll keep it with you. Parting words, and then how can people reach you? Because I think that one of the most important things is, as you're building your own community, use us as your community, right?
Yeah,
we're accessible. Right. We're here.
Yeah,
I respond to DMs and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So,
Well, I'm glad you said that. You can get me on Facebook at _Martin Dockery or The Wholesale Kit. And this year I am starting mentoring. I'm only going to take on a couple of people.
Right.
I got 5 slots because that's the only time I really got time for, because I'm still growing and doing my business myself. So I got 5
set boundaries. That's good.
Yeah, 5 people I'm signing up for, and I'm starting in mid-January, and I'm going to teach people how to wholesale and walk them through deals and drive for dollars and all the little marketing techniques that I use to start off my wholesale business, and just keep it very simple, you know what I'm saying, from the ground up. And so that's what I'm doing, and I want to come out to as many community centers, schools, and kind of get the word out there about introduction to real estate and how you can get in it, and creative ways that you can make money in this industry, or make a life out of this industry. So that's what I'm doing in 2025, and I just want to tell everybody, just stay active, man. Get active and be active.
Yeah, that's what's up. Let's do better, people. What is it, Al? What is it?
So for the 2025, like just the whole thing about this whole podcast is be active, y'all. Activate yourself. Like, if you're tired of what you're doing, and I know like you hear it from everybody, and sometimes you get overwhelmed with everything else that y'all going through, but it's proven that if we're not going to be here forever, right? And I feel like we're just wasting time, and just like 2024, how quick that went, it's going to be the same as 2025 unless you start taking action and being activated. And to follow me, I'm big on social media, definitely on Instagram, and that's at Al Camden Rentals, Al Camden, and it's Rentals at Instagram. And yeah, DM me any information. I'm doing a couple events this year, also some mentorships, but I just want everybody to be great, man. 2025 is going to be amazing, only if you make it amazing. So, or it's just going to be another year. So you pick and choose.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Listen, self-love requires zero outside validation. So one, let's start off and love yourself. Look at this. This is the universe, bro. That's the universe. Self-love requires zero outside validation. One of the things I wanted to say that I took from this is, listen, enjoy the journey. Stop worrying about the jet you on and just enjoy the journey, right? Because the destination is so much sweeter when you just loving it and enjoying the journey. Make sure you got good people around you to enjoy this journey with, because that's going to be so important. Nobody should be around you that doesn't believe in you, and you shouldn't be around nobody that you don't believe in either, because the way to embrace energy and embrace power is to keep it around you. And what I'll say is, to close it out, is, look, this thing called life is but a dream. And
Beautiful.
We are the dreamers.
Beautiful.
We are the dreamers. So remember, this thing is your dream.
Beautiful.
And you're creating it every single moment at a time. So live your life moment by moment. You know how to reach me. I am Dual Threat 007 on Instagram. That's my main thing. Like I said, as you're building your community, if you don't have it already, make us your community. You know what I'm saying? We are happy to do so.
One more thing, the wholesale kit on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
You can get it Amazon, ebook, or paperback. And I ain't trying to get a bunch of money from it, but I definitely want to get a bunch of knowledge out there to the people.
Absolutely. A lot of good things going on. We got Morning Dew dropping. We got Debonair dropping. You know what I'm saying? Al got, he's teaching the people, so he got some good classes coming and good seminars and everything like that. So I think you should tap in for that.
And also tell everybody, listen to this. This is our first one. That's really, and we working on it too. So any feedback y'all have, please throw it out there. See if any information or questions, right, Kenyon, that y'all have that we can answer, so we can help the people, right? Like we said, we want to be y'all community, so if y'all have any issues that we didn't cover, anything that y'all want us to cover, please throw it out there.
Yeah, we're gonna be back though.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So
we're gonna keep it going. You're gonna see more content from us,
Yes,
from us three. We're gonna collaborate
and in the community.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be at
so
your
we're gonna get better too, y'all. So
Yeah.
like I said, it's our first joint.
Right.
Yeah. Listen to us and just know.
But it's a lot of powerful information. I want y'all to make this the most listened to, because
100%.
that will also keep us motivated and keep us on our toes to do things. We are the dreamers. We're the creators, and you create your world. You create your life. Once again, 2025 is going to be the best year of your life as long as you do all the things you need to do to make it so. So y'all be easy. Man, Kenyon, Martin, Al, Kenyon, Martin, we signing off. Enjoy 2025. Bring it in the right way. And just get ready for an amazing ride you're about to go on.
Let's do better, people.
Yeah, y'all stay super blessed.